Hello everyone, and warm greetings. Very happy to be back here after being away for a week. And someone hears loud, no hum, loud buzzing. So I'm also hearing buzzing. Hum better now. It's the silence, audio fine here. Okay, so hopefully it's all okay, well enough. I'm sorry for the people with the buzz. I'm not sure what to do. The heater is on, so I don't know if they were picking up the sound of the heater here. It's so good morning. There's a kind of a rule of the road. Kind of a rule is the right word, but it's that when you're driving a car, you vary the distance between yourself and the car in front of you, depending on the speed in which you're driving. So if you're driving slow, you might keep your one car's distance from the other car. But then as you go faster, maybe at 50 miles an hour, you want to keep at least 5 cars distance from the car in front of you. So there's enough time to slow down and stop if something happens. And you certainly don't want to tailgate. And so the same thing with our life. The faster our life goes, the more space you want to have between your thoughts. That maybe if you're just sitting quietly and just ruminating and thinking nicely, that it's fine, just let your thoughts do the speed in which they go. But when the thoughts start tailgating, thoughts start kind of one after the other without any pause whatsoever, and especially if the thoughts are going fast, then there's not much room for a deeper awareness of what's happening. There's not much room to stop and really see and consider and be wise about what is going on. So the possibility of slowing our thinking down, or maybe not slowing it down exactly, but giving space for thoughts, the space between our thinking, our thoughts, and not to have the thoughts kind of run through our minds one after the other, is one of the wonderful ways of tapping into our own wisdom and also our own safety. We become safer if we're not tailgating our thoughts, because then we don't see enough. They come so fast, we don't really see what's happening. So with that as a background for this meditation, assuming a meditation posture in which you can sit in an alert way. If you take a really deep, full breath and let your chest fill with air, and then that sense of openness in the chest, as you exhale, don't lose all of it. Sit with a posture that allows the chest to feel a little bit open, a little bit expanded. Sometimes if you take a very deep breath at the beginning, so much so that you feel you're pulling on your shoulders as the rib cages expand upward. Then when you exhale, let your shoulders relax. And same thing if you take a very deep, full breath and let the diaphragm when you breathe in pushes down, if you're relaxed, and expands the belly. to take a deep breath and relax and let the belly expand as fully as you can. And then as you exhale, let the weight of the belly settle. And then if your eyes are still open, you can lower your gaze. If it's comfortable, you can close your eyes. And then breathing normally, on the exhale, relaxing the muscles of the face. On the exhale, softening the shoulders. On the exhale, relaxing the belly. On the exhale, relaxing your arms and hands. And if it feels right, you can adjust the posture of your hands. And on the exhale, relax your brain as if the brain is a muscle. And then notice kind of the speed by which you're thinking. Are your thoughts fast and tailgating each other? And if they are, on the exhale, can you soften and slow down your thinking? Maybe at the end of the exhale, let there be a brief pause in your breathing. Breathe, and a brief pause in your thinking. So you begin getting a feel for there being space between thoughts. And then begin settling down into the body's experience of breathing. Relaxing your thinking mind as you exhale. letting there be a simple pause in your thinking at the end of the exhale. And maybe with that pause, you can receive more fully the beginning of the inhale. Noticing the speed in which you're thinking. Can you calm your speed, calm your thinking down? Slow your thinking, and with the slowest thinking that's available, direct your thinking to think about your breathing. With the simplest, shortest thoughts you can. Thoughts of recognition of the experience of breathing here and now. And as you're sitting here, if there's any degree of calm, align yourself with that calmness. Allow yourself to feel the calmness, the subtleness. Letting the thinking mind enjoy the calmness. And as we come to the end of this sitting, perhaps you can consider that when you have a traffic jam of thoughts, there's not much space in the mind to take in other people, to really see them, hear them, feel them, recognize what's happening with them in some fuller way. But when the thinking becomes quieter, slower, it's possible to gaze upon others, to look upon them, to see them more fully. And that ability to be present for others can be a gift, can be a form of generosity, of care, of kindness, friendliness. May it be that the calmness and settledness that might come from this meditation today, whether you know it or not, may it be that it somehow comes with us into our life in the world, so that we're more present for people, listening better, hearing better, seeing better, without the distraction of a lot of thinking, preoccupations. May it be that this meditation that we do serves for the welfare and happiness of others. May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings be peaceful. And may all beings be free. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to this Monday morning talk. And this morning, or this week, I'd like the theme to be calmness, and to discuss 5 different areas or aspects of calmness. And meditation is often associated with calmness, but not for its own sake, though it can be quite nice for its own sake. But because calmness allows for greater wisdom to operate. It allows us to greater capacity to see what's happening, and also sets up the conditions where it's easier to let go of things which are healthy to let go of. There's more space in the mind or softness in the mind where that clinging begins to loosen its grip. So to talk about calmness, and so when I think about this topic, I think about it in relationship also to a distracted mind, a mind that is caught up in its thoughts and preoccupations. That the faster the thinking is, the more preoccupied the mind is, the more chances are that the mind and maybe even the body is not tranquil, is not calm. And what happens when there's a incessant chatter in the mind, thinking, fast thinking, one thought follows the other, thoughts are tailgating each other, is that our ability to perceive, to understand, to be creative, to be is diminished, because the busy thoughts fill the bandwidth, they fill the space. And so other forms of intelligences we have, other forms of ways of perceiving and of reflecting, don't have a chance to operate. But when we're not distracted, then we're also not distracted from our deeper wisdom, our deeper understanding. We're not distracted from taking the time to really see what's here. Recently I heard someone say that the more urgency he feels, the slower he goes. I thought it was a wonderful principle, because when things are urgent, it's probably a time when we have to really use all our mental capacities to problem solve, to figure out, to understand what's happening, to do things well, to not be impulsive and make mistakes because we didn't take time to learn what happened. And so to learn the art of calming ourselves, learning the art of not being swept away in distractive thoughts and agitated mind, is one of the most useful things one of the great useful things we can learn from meditation and from mindfulness. But it's easier to learn it if we begin to appreciate the value of calmness. And maybe we can begin by understanding to appreciate the calmness of a calm mind, or more specifically, calm thinking. It's hard to, the Buddha talked about the calmness in calming speech. So if you find yourself speaking very fast, and sometimes when we get agitated we speak faster, speech, how we speak and the speed by which we speak, we have some control over. It's easier to control when we speak and how fast we speak than it is to control our thoughts and our thinking, because we have to engage more physically with the act of speaking. To begin experimenting and getting a feel for speaking in ways that are not hurried begins giving you a feeling, a sense of what it's like for the thinking mind to also be unhurried. And then to begin slowing the thinking mind down, especially when you're distracted. When you're distracted by your thoughts and concerns. And so to slow down, calm down the thinking mind like you would calm down speaking. So the advantage of this is not saying stop thinking, let go of your thoughts, which might be too tall of an order for anyone to do effectively in daily life. But maybe it's possible to begin slowing down your thoughts, to have a little more space around them, or a little more calmness associated with them. And And so how do we do that? One of the ways is to do it, relax the body. Chances are that if you're thinking in a fast, distracted way, that something in your physical system is tense, is tight, is pushing or leaning forward, or kind of holding on to some feeling of holding on. So to relax the belly, relax the shoulders. And that's the advantage of some of this relaxation, is they can be done without anybody else knowing it, you're doing it. You can do it at meetings. You can do it sitting in traffic. You can do it, standing in line at the store. You can take a little bit of time to relax. If you feel like you don't have the time to relax, when you're standing in a line, a cashier line, check-in line at a store, then you're probably caught up in some kind of distraction, something that is limiting the depths of your wisdom, the depths of your clarity, of really seeing what's happening. So be very careful by the insistent voice in the mind, or the sense of authority that distracted thoughts can have. Like, it's really important to think about this. I have to think about it. It's so important, this concern. And the kind of fear and sometimes desperation that goes in, or the desire or the greed that might even go in to thinking, it has an insistence in it. When that happens, and you can't, standing in a checkout line, can't stand on your both feet and relax and just, just relax your body for a few moments, then there's not much. Chances are that your innate natural wisdom and clarity of thinking is not going to be available, because you're caught in that insistence, that push to think. So you might as you go through the day, look for opportunities, maybe secret opportunities. No one needs to know you're relaxing your belly or your shoulders or your face or whatever, your hands. But look for opportunities to relax, and see in that relaxing, or that intention to relax, if there starts to be a tug of war with your thinking mind. The thinking mind's kind of doing somehow, in some form or other, saying, no, we don't have time for this. It's so important to be thinking fast and furiously, or so important to be caught up in thinking about this concern. And maybe that's not the case. Maybe if you really have an important concern, that something that really needs to be thought about, maybe you think about it more effectively, better, when you're calm, when you're relaxed, when you slow down, when the thinking mind becomes slow enough that you can be attuned to what it feels like, how that you're in your body, you feel embodied. Thinking mind slows down enough, there's a space to be aware of your emotions and feelings, kind of the deeper emotional connection to what's happening. Not the surface emotions of fear or desire, but slow down enough to those are kind of often symptoms of something deeper. And if you can slow down and calm down enough to fill in the picture with more of who you are, how you are, with more space for undistracted thoughts, calm, relaxed thoughts that somehow arise from a deeper place of understanding, a deeper place of creativity within us. Often we can find our way better with our challenges in our life than if we have an agitated mind. So to practice to have an unagitated mind is the same thing as a calm mind. And one of the vehicles for doing that is a calmness of body, a relaxation of body, and this wonderful interplay and mutuality between mind and body in terms of helping us be calmer. If some of you don't like the word calm, there's other words: tranquility, serenity, peace, ease. All these words are kind of like in the same family. And if you don't like any of those words, and you think it's too high a bar, or somehow not appealing, then perhaps an unagitated mind. an unagitated body. Because when you're agitated, we can't be so wise. And we can't be kind. It's harder to be kind, it's harder to be generous from a place of depth. And one of the wonderful things about becoming calm and unagitated, our care for others, our friendliness to others, our attention to others, they'll feel that it comes from a different place in us. It's bigger, it's more richer, it's more connected if we connect to others with a calm place rather than a distracted place or an agitated place or this fast pace that some of us can be in sometimes, where there's not really enough space, let alone for ourselves, really in a deep way, but not enough space for others as well. So, calmness. And maybe this week's theme will be useful for you, especially as we're getting ready for this winter season and holiday season. May you become a student of calmness this week. Thank you.